I'll just get some footage of you just mopping for me. Awesome. Jamesy, Jamesy. Your mopping so clean. This is like you went over the floor like 3 or 4 times, eh? Wow. My floor is gonna be super, super shiny. You're doing such a good job. Wow, oh wow. I usually just go over it once when I'm mopping. Very faster, 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 faster. You're the guy for all of that. All right. Welcome to a new video. In this video, we're talking about house help. You know, people are asking me so much questions being here in Tanzania. Do you have a house help? All that stuff. Yes, I do. I have a house help and I have an amazing house help. So, if you want to know how to get a good house help, because as you can see, this house is massive, right? And it takes a lot to clean it. So, obviously, I need somebody to help me do the yard, the trees, the this, the that. It's a lot of work. Plus, I'm doing my work online and I'm trying to make some extra money here. Plus, I'm teaching. So, it takes a lot. So, let's start in this video. So, if you want to know how to have good house help, how to hire good people who are honest, not gonna steal, this is a video for you. So keep watching. All right, friends. The question is, do you need a house help on the continent of Africa? Well, it depends on the size of your house and how busy you are and what what you want to be done. So one of the main reasons most people get house helps is because they have young children. Now, my daughter, she is 8 years old and she's very independent. But sometimes if I need to go somewhere, I will need a house help, right? Now, do I have a house help? Yes, I do. And as you guys see in the video, it's a boy. His name is James. And he's such a lovely person, very trustworthy, and everything like that. Now, one of the questions you guys are asking is how to get a house help. So we are going to get into that. How to get a house help. So now in the area where I live, every week or every second week, somebody comes to the gate and says, knocking, tuk, tuk, tuk. When you go outside, you see a woman or you see a man. They're asking, do you need any help? I'm looking for a job. Do you need any house help? So people do come around and ask to be house help. But I just wanna warn you as expats, like these are things that you don't want to do because these are perfect strangers. You don't know these people. You can't just like let somebody come into your house and you don't know them. So the best way is to get a local who can give you a reference from somebody who that person has already worked with or something like that. Or maybe you can go to an agency. I don't know if there's any agency here, but I know there's a couple of cleaning agency. So maybe you can go to one of them, but I don't know if they provide this service to help people get a job. I don't know, but they have cleaners. So maybe you can go through the cleaning agency because the cleaning agency actually send people to your house to clean. So I don't know how that works, but I'm just telling you from what I know being here in Tanzania. So you can also go through a cleaning agency, which is very reliable because like if something is stolen or something is missing, you can go back to the clean agency and say, well, oh, you send your person to clean my house and something is missing, blah blah blah. But somebody random on the street, like you taking a risk because you don't know that person, and if something is missing, like you don't even know where to find them. Because this place is like a huge place. It's not like okay, you have somebody's passport, so you have like real addresses where you can just go there to the address. Like living here, you have to like be looking and giving people direction where to go. Like real physical address is just non-existent. Honestly, you have to get a post box and to collect your mail. Anyways, it's just a mess. We can do another video another time about that. But going back to the house help, so to get a house help, you need a reference from somebody who is trustworthy, like I said. and then the person will come and work for you. Now, my house help, my girlfriend, we're sharing the same house help because he's working with her and he comes to me 3 days a week, and the rest of the time he's working at her house and he has a place to stay there, and that's all we do together. And so I feel confident and I can trust him to be inside my house and to be around my house. Yes, and he is a he. It's a man, it's not a lady. Okay. Now, when I left Canada, I told my husband, I said, oh, I have to hire some people when I get to Tanzania. I said, okay, great. He says, oh, I need an assistant. I said, for what? Does this made all the things that I need to be doing, all the business, all the this, that. So I said, no, we're not going to have any woman assistant. That's what I said. But I said, I am going to have somebody working in my house and he's going to be a man. And it was a big joke. He was like, ha, 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 ha. He was laughing. He says, why would you want to have a man? You need to have a woman. And I'm like, no, I need to have a man to be working inside of the house. And yeah, it just turns out so funny because he didn't get an assistant, but I got exactly what I wanted and he loves him. So everything works out well. So anyways, let's get back to the video. I just want to tell a story because I always tell stories in my videos. Anyways, the next thing is things that you should not do if you want to get somebody to work with you, right? You should not just find any random person unless you're positively sure about these people. You build some kind of relationship with these people over a period of time and you can trust them to bring them in your home to do things for you. That's something that you should never do. Next thing that you should never do is like somebody comes to your gate like and asking to work for you. Like you should never do that. The next thing you should never do is if you're gonna have people to work with you, let them work outside first and for a period of time. Maybe they can do the garden, maybe they can do clean outside, do laundry and stuff like that. And after a while, when you see you can trust them, then you can let them come inside the house and clean the you rooms and bathrooms and stuff like that. Now, something that I don't do is I don't allow anybody to clean my bathroom or the bedrooms. I think these places are private and it should just remain private and people should not go into those spaces. So for me, I don't do that kind of stuff. Like I don't allow anybody to clean those spaces because that's my space and it's a private space of me, my husband, my children. I think the kids, they can clean their own space, but it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But this is my philosophy when it comes to cleaning. And I've worked with many people. When I was going to college and university, I've worked as a nanny, and I know a lot of the people that I work with, some things I didn't do because they said the kids should do it. They said, oh, we don't want you to do that. We want you to watch the baby. We want you to cook them dinner, or we want you to teach them, help them with their homework and teach them to read and stuff like that. But we don't want you doing their laundry. We don't want you washing their shoes. We don't want you to do certain stuff. So they have to do it themselves. And this is my policy too. I think kids should be clean their rooms and do stuff like that. Take their sheets off. And my kids been pulling their sheets off since they were babies. They were small and they just pulling the sheets off and dragging it to the place to wash, the laundry room. So yeah, I think, yeah, this is just my opinion. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just telling you what I do. Okay. So some things that you should avoid, like I said, is like be careful to scan people very well before you make choices, because this is your home and this is like your safe place and you don't want it to be violated. It's like if you go leave your home and then you come back and somebody rob your home, God forbid. It's like you feel like you're violated, like you don't want to stay in this house anymore. So it's the same thing if you're bringing somebody in your house to work for you. You want to make sure that that person is a good person, a trustworthy person. So that's what it is. Okay. Now, a question you guys also asking is how much should you pay somebody who's working for your house help? Now, prices can vary, depends on where you are and uh, location, what they're doing, the amount of work and stuff like that. Now, I know for here in Tanzania, they don't have one specific price for workers. They just pay people what they want. In my opinion, I think the pay is too low. So my worker is getting paid very handsomely. I won't tell you the price, but he's getting paid handsomely from me, right? Because I think that when you have a worker, they should be able to eat and sleep and be happy. It should be a benefit to you and it should be a benefit to them. So this is my motto when I have anybody coming here to do anything for me. It must be a benefit to them, a good benefit. It's like I work in Canada and I make X amount of money, I'm happy. I can pay my bills, I can buy my food, I can go on a vacation, I can do things with my money. So it's the same policy I bring here with me. I know some people, they say, when I tell them the price, they say, that's too much. I'm like, you know what? For you, it may seem like too much, but for me, it's perfectly fine, right? And then the question I ask them is, I say, would you work for this amount of money? And then, of course, crickets, because they know they would not work for that amount of money. So my motto is, treat people the way that you want to be treated. So that's exactly how I do it. Okay. So the price, like I was going back, was saying, prices depends upon you, and the price there is really low. And I think as a foreigner, you should use some discretion and pay people money that is right. Okay? Please, I beg you, all of you foreigners who are out here and you're gonna have people working with you, please pay them money. Okay? Pay them good money. That's gonna make them loyal to you and stay with you and don't want to steal from you. Okay? So that's right. So the next questions that you guys asked me was like, if you don't find, like, if you come here and you're looking for somebody and you can't find somebody, like, you're new here. So my friends have many workers and helpers and stuff like that. But what they do, they go to the village and they get somebody from the village to come. So how that works is, you go to the village and you just kind of ask around who's looking for work and stuff like that, and you bring somebody in your home to work with you. So now that person stays with you for the week, and then they go home on the weekend and they come back on Monday, or sometimes they stay a month and they go home once a month, and they go home once every 2 months, something like that. You make a deal with them. Now, what I was told that most of the time, most people go to the villages and do that because the people who are in the villages, like, they don't come to the city, so they don't know anything about city life. So for you getting somebody from the village, it's okay, because it's not a threat. They don't know anything about the city. They're not gonna run away. Like, from the village to here, sometimes it's like 4 hours, 5 hours. You need to go get them, or you need to put them on a train. It's very difficult for them, and they have no clue about the city. So that is why most of them go and get some village people to come and work for them. And like in the African movies, the same thing here. It's a very, very same thing here. They go get these people to work for them. Now, that could be a tricky situation, because I've seen situations here where people are not treated well at all, and there's also situations where people are treated really, really well. So that's, as an expat, you can do that also. You can make friends with the locals, and they can take you to the village and you can get somebody to come and work with you. But what I must tell you is, when you take those village people, make sure you treat them well. Make sure they have good mattresses, they have good sheets, they have good mosquito nets. Make sure you feed them well, and don't be ill treating them, okay? Because they're people just like you. Yeah, so I think this is all the questions that you guys have asked me about living in Tanzania and house help and things like that. Oh, food. When it comes to cooking for house helps usually do whatever you want them to do. But for me, I don't need anyone to cook for me, because I like to cook on my own, and we don't eat like regular things like what everybody eat. Like, you won't see us making rice and this and meat and all kind of stuff every single day. So we eat a very healthy, nutritious diet, and sometimes we don't like to make full meals. We like to make salads. So it's going to be very difficult for somebody to cook for us day in and day out. Plus the spices, the culture, it's it's totally different. So we just cook our own stuff. So we don't really need somebody to cook for us. But all the people that I know, friends that I've met here, the neighbors, they all have house help and they do cook. But for us, no. So I hope I answered all your questions. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.